Hi folks, welcome back to the Horde. You guys saw the XR80 I got from the car show, and that one came in with the motor in pieces. There's another XR80 floating around that's also in pieces, and we'll call that Tim's bike. This one was left out, and the motor weather seized. Oops, not this one. This one. This one, the motor weather seized. Now, it's just interesting because I kind of went around the Horde, and I spent some time digging up parts. And just to go with what you guys are the most familiar with, that is the XR80 engine I just bought off of eBay. It's the one with the welded kickstarter and the stripped out bolts for the bottom. So that's that engine. And notice it's not committed to a bike, so to speak. So there she sits. This is what I'm going to call Tim's bike, and you see the exhaust and the carburetor. You see the foot pegs and the kickstand. By the way, that was altered a little bit. You see the top end parts, and there should be the head and so forth. What I do, put that over here. Anyway. No, that's over here. Here's the head. And the other parts. I'm trying to get all this stuff together so I can figure out how to put it together. There's the nuts, bolts, and other trivia in there. So, there's this bike, Tim's bike. It weather seized. You can see it's got some gas tank problems, and I honed this out, and even with honing it out, it's still a little damaged in there. I think it really needs to be bored and at the minimum oversized for bigger rings, a big set of rings, or it needs to go the whole way and actually get a bigger piston. So what I did is I bought this second jug and piston with rings all matching, and I was going to smash this engine together, and I still haven't. Once again, I mentioned the exhaust, the ignition, the leaky gas tank, the carburetor. It still has the little hookup for the air cleaner. The shocks are here, and there she sits. So, Tim's bike. Tim's bike is a 1983. I think you guys could see that right there. So, I think I got everything finally together to put it together. This is the second bike. By the way, I don't recall what I traded Tim for that bike. I don't know. I probably have a couple $100 invested in it. This bike was the $50 bike, and it came with everything you see, but the front tire has a gash in it, so I dug around the Horde for another front tire. It came with the skid plate, but it didn't come with the foot pegs, so I got the foot pegs off of eBay, and they were like $35-40, something like that. Revs It Up found them for me. I kept looking for them on eBay, and I wasn't finding them. Turns out the way this works is the skid plate bolts up against the front motor mount right there, right, and this kind of kind of goes under one side of that. So that's how they work. Somebody built this special. Somebody manufactured this, right? You can see this is a one piece. So somebody actually created that. And what's also interesting, because as I was poking around the Horde, I also found these, and I'm not sure what they go to. The spacing is a little bit too wide, so this would have to get cut, brought in. But other than that, it looks exact. The kickstand even looks the right length. I got the exhaust system on this one, and the exhaust system hanging over here. So now it's just a matter of kind of smashing it all back together again. This came with the seat pan, right? That's the seat pan, but no foam or anything. This gas tank seems to be in a little better shape than this gas tank. Probably what I'm going to do is kind of take all the best parts and get one of them running and complete, and you know, I mean, dumb little things like this, you know, get all the trivia put on them. I'm probably I'm going to start with Tim's bike. It doesn't look like I need to mess with the tire or anything. Probably what I'll even do, I'll probably even put the engine with the welded Kickstarter on it. Because once I put one of them together, then I'll know what spare parts I have. And once I kind of know what spare parts, then I can figure out what I need to come up with for the second bike. Around me, these bikes have a value of somewhere between $500 and $800. There are people who try to get, you know, $1,000, $1,200 for them, but I see them on Craigslist for a long time, and I don't know if they actually manage to sell them, or if they kind of give up on selling them, or what the story is. But it seems that the ones that, even if they're a little ratty at $500, they seem to disappear pretty quickly. Up to $800, they seem to disappear. You know, a little better looking one for $800. But once again, even the rats seem to go for some good money. Even just as a parts bike, I think there's everything there to put that together, even from the engine pieces. I think even as a parts rat, they typically go for somewhere around $350, depending on how pretty they are and what parts are there. So anyway, I'm going to get both of these running. This one second. Yeah, I think I'll do this one first. So other than these two XR80s, you guys know that down in the basement, I don't know, is it an XR? I know there's an XR70 down there. And maybe a 75. Okay. And then I have a lot of parts to an XR100. I have a complete XR100 that runs good. But then I have a lot of parts to another XR100. And there she sits. I was out sniffing around for parts. One of the things holding this thing from going back together again is, these might even be the wheels for it, these two. But like, this one's missing the brakes. It's missing the sprocket. You You can see the front doesn't have the pieces it should have. So it's like instantly a lot of money to put it together without those. I believe I have, oh, I know I have the engine, it's complete. And I know I think I have the exhaust. I don't think I have the gas tank, though the seat looks mighty pretty on this one. It doesn't fit the other ones. It's more of a square cutoff thing. So yeah, this one probably isn't going together unless I find a roller. Every once in a while somebody will put a roller up on Craigslist, something they torch the engine on, so you can pick up, you know, the roller with hopefully a good tire or two on it and all the brake components and everything else. If I could pick up one of those for $100 or $150, it would pay for me to smash my engine onto it, especially if it came with the exhaust system. So there you are. I wanted to get all those kind of together because I'm trying to make some space up here to actually get some work done, and then I can bring one of them in and put it together, and then once it's together it'll take up a lot less space and move it to wherever it's going to be stored, or move it to my son's place, and then I could bring the second one in and put it together, figure out what I'm missing to complete it, and then kind of start looking. If I'm trying to buy an XR80 seat on eBay and I want it yesterday, I'm going to pay quite a bit of money for it. But if I just for the next, 2-3 weeks, month, 2 months, I just take a quick look every night, do a quick search, and somebody has an XR80 seat on there for a buy it now for $30, right? You got to jump on that. Typically seats are between 50 and 100, so that's kind of what I'm gonna try to hold out for. I'm gonna see if I can't get that steal of a deal. New mascot.
Don't worry. I'm so smart.
Yeah, he's got all the brains in this operation. All right, folks. I think that's about it. As I've been kind of scanning around, I've been looking for 4-bolt wheels for that China quad down in the driveway. I checked to see if the rear end would go in from the China quad from alongside the shed, and it will not. That's completely, they do the back completely differently. I do have a 4-bolt front tire right there, and I have a 4-bolt back tire somewhere around there, but I don't have 2 fronts and 2 backs. I picked those up. That was a roadside pickup. Somebody dumped a cut in half quad by the side of the road. I don't know why they would keep 1 tire from each side. I kind of have the feeling what they were doing is chucking it out of their vehicle, out of the back of a pickup truck or something, and somebody started to come along, so they went and they disposed of the rest of it elsewhere. That's the only thing I can think of. That one was interesting because as they cut it up, it still had the key in the ignition. It had all the electronics, though they were cut up. The engine was gone, completely gone. It wasn't even partly there. The carb wasn't there. And like one, you can see it's actually got part of the front suspension on it. I mean, they cut it right off. So the back wheel too, it looks like somebody cut something and pulled it out of a differential or whatever, or not a pumpkin. Anyway, folks, always good to kind of explore the hoard, see what I could find, what's new, what I've lost back here somewhere. Anyway, I want to thank you all for watching and commenting and subscribing. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your heads up, and please get out there and enjoy all your days. Don't let any time get by you. You never know. So these XR80s aren't going to rebuild themselves, so you got to get out there and have some fun. All right, folks, take care now. Bye.